In this video, I wanted to talk about space travel. I have a lot of opinions on space travel and Elon Musk and Mars colonization and, the future, Star Wars and Star Trek and, those possible outcomes and whether we'll become a civilization that's a utopian civilization or a desolate, Earth is destroyed, apocalyptic scenario. I want to know, through this thought experiment, where will we be? And I believe in my heart, I'm like, I really hope that humanity gets to a point where we don't have wealth, we don't have war, we're not worrying about where we're gonna get our food, where we're gonna get our water. I hope that humanity can become this, this gleam, this shiny, beautiful thing, and it won't. The road to get there is going to be very long and very hard, and we might be, we might go extinct before ever reaching that point from a changing Earth or ourselves, and climate change might destroy us, whether people believe that it's caused by ourselves or by the world. It doesn't matter who it's caused by. It's going to destroy us unless we do something about it. And I personally believe that it is caused by humans because all the evidence shows that it is, except one paper with skewed research, and it shouldn't be. The only reason that people say that it isn't caused by humans is the only people that are saying that are people who want to make money off of the coal and gas industries and the natural gas and oil industries. People who are invested in fossil fuels are the only ones who are saying that it's not real, and that should be a dead giveaway that the people who are not being influenced by profit are the ones telling the truth about this, and that's and the fact that almost nobody except a few very loud people are saying it's fake. So going off the fact that even if it isn't caused by humans, it doesn't matter because everyone agrees that the Earth is heating up, that things will start to change, and this may not be a habitable place anymore for humans. And what are we going to do about that? Well, should we fix the Earth or should we move to Mars? And people say, well, we should spend our money on Earth, fixing Earth, and we should spend our brain power on fixing Earth. And while that's true, I believe that there's enough people on Earth to do both at the same time. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet. You think that half of them can work on Earth, half of them can work on going to Mars, and I think that 3.75 billion people can work on saving Earth, and 3.75 billion can work on going to Mars. I think that's a reasonable amount of people. But of course, there's a lot more issues that are happening, because right now, 100% of the population virtually is working on Earth. There's NASA and the SpaceX and Blue Origin and the European space agencies. What is it? South Africa came up with one. Might be wrong about that. There's Russia, but there's very, very, very few. So it's 99.9% of people are working on Earth, and increasing that, our options should be a priority. What's the harm of 1% of the population working on space travel or 99% work on Earth? I think that going to Mars can only be beneficial because we will increase our knowledge of technology along the way. We'll increase our knowledge of other planets, and if we can learn about them, we can learn about ourselves and help Earth. Going to Mars will help Earth because it'll increase our options of places to live. It'll increase our options technology-wise, because when we went to the moon, when we went into space for the first time, we increased our knowledge, and we helped Earth a lot just by completing a hard task. And that's part of the reason that we need to do these very difficult things because we will help Earth in the long run. We wouldn't have cell phones, we wouldn't have satellites, we wouldn't have internet if it wasn't for the space race. We wouldn't have Velcro. That's a classic example that a lot of people know about. If the space race had never happened, you wouldn't have Velcro shoes. You'd all be tying your shoes. So the world would be a horrible place without space travel. You'd always have to, those little kids, they'd have to tie their shoes, And, that's what people don't understand about space travel is it's doing the hard things that and those technologies trickle down to helping Earth, solar panels, all these great technologies gained so much momentum when we really needed them for space travel and space civilizations. And if we go to Mars, all that technology it'll take to get there will improve Earth immensely. If you live on Mars, where are you going to get your water? You're going to have to recycle tons and tons of water, and that water recycling is going to benefit, Earth a ton, because Earth will get that technology, will trickle down and become super cheap, and we will not waste very much water taking showers here on Earth because we'll have that new technology. Where are you going to get energy on Mars? You're going to have super efficient power plants from solar and wind, and that technology is going to trickle down to Earth, and it'll help Earth in the end, because you're doing this very hard thing, and that technology will, trickle down to Earth, and this technology trickle down effect has been happening ever since forever. The first guy who went out and he hunted with his spike and he stabbed the beast, and he said, "Wow, look." And they said, "Wow, that's really great. That was really hard to make that spike. It was the first one ever made." He's like, "Yeah, I know. But now we can get really strong because we can eat this meat. And once we started eating meat, then you have all these strong dudes. You can go out and make more spears and stab more animals. And then everybody knows how to eat meat and stab animals and yippee, It's the way it's always been, and people don't understand that space travel isn't this toy for billionaires to go out and spend a bunch of money and not get anything in return. I do agree that there's a lot of things that are spent, a lot of money that is spent on frivolousness in the space industry, but that's true about every government agency in the world. There's so much money wasted on tons of things, and that is not an innate property of the space industry. Is wasting money. That's an innate property of the world, of the government. The government wastes so much money. Companies waste so much money, and money wasting, it has nothing to do with the space industry. Yes, there's money wasted, but there's money wasted everywhere, and getting rid of the space industry and getting rid of the pursuit of space travel is not going to solve that problem. There's going to be money wasted in other areas. People will say, "Oh, we should get rid of the space industry just because they're wasting a lot of money. Oh, we should get rid of the government because they're wasting a lot of money. Oh, you know what? We should get rid of humanity because it's wasting a lot of money." It doesn't make sense. We should get rid of farmers because they waste money. Then we wouldn't have any food. It doesn't make sense to get rid of the space industry because they waste money. Everybody wastes money. Once we get to Mars, that adventure, it's people will look back on it and say, "You know what? We can live on Mars. We can live on Earth. That's so exciting." When Christopher Columbus came over, he's a horrible guy, but he came over and he said, "Yo, look at America." And everyone's like, "Whoa, let's go to America." And then everybody came to America, North America, South America, and just that pursuit and all the wealth that was created. America, United States, Canada, Mexico, all these places, all the places in South America where France and Spain, they colonized over there. Those places would not exist if it wasn't for this opportunity that people were hoping to find. And those same opportunities of new land and new places to live and new innovation and new materials and new ideas, that applies to space travel. And there is pushback because people think that we need to stay on Earth and solve Earth problems, where they don't understand that going to Mars, going to the moon, that solves Earth problems. That solves problems in so many ways. Besides the fact that Earth might blow up one day and we will just be all dead here, shouldn't we at least be investing at least 1% of our resources in another option? I mean, it's like when you're taking a test. You don't just study one chapter. You study all the chapters. Right now we're studying the Earth chapter. we're not paying any attention to the Mars chapter. So when it comes to the test, whether that's global warming or a meteorite hitting or any catastrophic disaster, all our eggs are in one basket. We got Earth, and that's the only chapter we studied. And if we lose Earth, we lose everything. So doesn't it make sense to put at least 1 or 2% of our resources into Mars? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? We waste a little money, you know, but along the way, I can guarantee that we're gonna learn so much by getting there that all those things we learn will improve the American economy, will improve the world economy, and the world will just be a better place because we try to do something hard. Whether we succeed or fail, it's gonna be worth it. And the people that disagree, let me know. You know, tell me what you believe and why I'm wrong, and maybe I'll make a follow-up video and talk about your answers and why maybe you're right in certain respects. And that discussion is what I want to hear from you. So let me know what you think, and subscribe and like this video and share it with your friends. I'll talk to you guys in the next one though. So peace out.